Hey beauties, welcome back to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial using the one and only James Charles palette by MORPHE. Don't know why I did it like that. That was kind of retarded, but here's the palette. This isn't going to be a review because there are thousands and thousands of reviews on this palette already. I just wanted to demonstrate how it worked. I did have a little trouble with it, but that is my fault because I do not have an eyeshadow primer yet. It will be in the mail tomorrow, and you bet your bottom dollar, is that the saying? You bet I will be using it with that primer tomorrow because I'm curious to see if it performs a little bit better. The eye that I did off camera, which was this one right here, I kind of covered it up with the star on purpose, but the pigment shades, like the orange and the red, were not sticking to my eye. They were like just fluffing off, if that makes sense. And I think it's because I used a concealer, which you're not supposed to. And I've seen people having issues with it using a concealer without setting it because it like will just stick in that one spot and then it won't blend out and you'll have like a hard line. So I was like, well, maybe it'll work if I use a concealer and then set it with eyeshadow beforehand. So that's what I did. It worked really well for like blending per se, but it's like I set it too much or something because all of the pigment was kind of just fluffing off when I would go to blend it, if that makes sense. So I kind of had to just pack it and then leave it alone. But those were the only issues I had, but I think, like I said, it's because I did not have an eye base or primer. But if y'all want to see me create this look right here, then just keep on watching. Okay, I'm going to actually sit here and talk y'all through this tutorial versus just playing music in the background and y'all just kind of watching. I want to be a little bit more explanatory on this one. So the first shade I'm going to go into is Playground. This really bright blue shade right here. And that is just going to go into the inner part of my eye. And I'm going to take this shade on a GH33 brush right here. Oh, and I did already set, okay, so James in his video, I'm sure most of y'all know this by now, said to use an actual eye primer that's one specifically for your eye to get the best results, if you will, from this eyeshadow palette. And my order hasn't come in yet, so I just used a concealer. It's the Too Faced concealer, the Born This Way, and I set it really well with Mary, his white eyeshadow in this palette. And I'm pretty sure that's why I'm having some issues, which I'll get into after the tutorial, or if it starts to show up during the tutorial, I'll kind of explain what's going on. So I'm pretty sure what's happening is because I'm not using an eye base. So. And since I am putting a cloud on my eye, I am going to take this eyeshadow up pretty much all the way up to my eyebrow. That way we don't lose our color with cutting that cloud into our eye, if that makes sense. I'm taking the shade Social Blade, which is his really bright green in here. I'm not going to keep picking up this palette because it's too big, but it's a very bright green. And I'm taking this on a MAC 217 brush. I'm just going to pop that right beside the blue. And I'm trying to do more of a packing motion versus a buffing motion. So I'm tapping it on. And then I can start buffing in between the two different shades so they start blending together. But to get your pigment, you want to press it on And then to blend, you want to buff it out. By the way, sorry if you hear a weird noise in the background. So for my daughter's birthday, I got her a little frog bounce house, and she wanted to play with it, but I had a film, so I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to let her outside by herself while she's in this bounce house. It's like, you know what? I'll bring the bounce house inside, and that's what I did. So she's entertained playing, and I'm doing my makeup, so we're both happy. You know, you do what you gotta do when you have a toddler. And that's a big part of the reason why I'm not uploading as much as I was, which sucks, but what are you gonna do, you know? I can't just neglect my daughter. Okay, now I'm going to shake. Now I'm going to take the shade B, which is that really bright yellow shade that everybody is raving over in this palette because it is really pigmented. Alright, so now I'm taking that yellow shade and just popping it right beside the green. I mean, that is pretty pigmented, I'm not gonna lie. And then just start buffing on. And if y'all try to follow this tutorial, you'll see that I'm kind of losing my green. So basically when I finish all the colors, I'll go back through and just kind of make them a little bit more vibrant, because after you blend them, they do kind of lose their color a little bit. But that's normal. Okay, now I'm going to take 518 and Rusted. They're two orange shades, but one's a lighter and one is a more like burnt orange. And in my opinion, if you mix the two, you get like a perfect orange. See, that's a pretty good orange. I'm kind of pressing it onto that yellow, so you'll get a lighter orange, and it just kind of blends itself. Gonna go back in with B. Okay, now I'm going to take You're Kidding, which is that red shade, which is like one of the most pigmented reds. I just I cannot talk. I just tapped into it twice is what I was trying to say. I'm just going to press that right on top of that orange. Like so. Alright, it'd be great if my camera would focus. There we go. And then at the very end, and this is where I started having trouble, I'm going to take Single, which is one of his purple, and this is where I started having issues. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's like not wanting to blend in this area right here. And I actually had to take another shade from a different palette to get it to even get that blended. But I think that's because I'm not using an eye base. So let's see if I have the same issue on this side. So I'm going to try going a little bit lighter. Okay, and now I'm just going to go backwards because you can see I lost a bit of that red. So now I'm just going to go back in reverse and kind of just revamp all of the colors. Okay, this side is working so much better. I might have just gone too heavy-handed on this side. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the cloud into my eyeshadow, and I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward through this part. I'm going to let y'all watch, but make it faster so we're not sitting here for 10 days.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up now.
Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Love That, which is that purple shade we used, and start just blending out this edge over here. I'm going to take the shade You're Kidding, which is the red, and just start connecting it to this purple. And I'm going to leave a space in between the clouds and the color, so like this. Take the shade 518 and Rusted to make my orange. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade B, which is the yellow. Now that's all that's left to do is the white eyeliner, and this one is getting very dried and crusted. So it's part of the reason why my stars look like butthole. But let's see if I can get any better luck on this side.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.
Okay guys, and this is the completed look.
They know we'll burn down the night, coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up tonight.
Alrighty guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And also be sure and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. But I will actually be definitely using the James Charles and Morphe palette a lot more. So expect to see more tutorials. I love creating rainbow inspired tutorials. They're my favorite. If you look at my Instagram, you can see that I'm very into it. And if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure and follow me on there. It is just Ashley Summarell with an underscore at the end of my name. But yeah, guys, when my primer comes in for my eyes, I will be definitely seeing if there is a difference in the eyeshadow palettes. It performed great. I did struggle just a little bit, as you already know. But I'm excited to see how it performs with an eyeshadow primer because it is what you're supposed to use with it. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. If y'all recreate it, please tag me in your pictures. I would love to see your recreations. But I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.